What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Sinister, and today I'm bringing you a special type of like build video. I actually put two of them in here. They're both tanks. Both have like over 1 million armor, but they're different, similar but very different. And I'm going to show you that in a minute. Before we start the video, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell. That way you can stay up to date with all my videos, builds, streams, all that good stuff. The first build I'm going to show you, I call it the Blooded Vanguard. And the reason why I call it that is the gear pieces we're using for this is three high-end named gear pieces that are like crucial to this build. But we're going to start off with the weapons. First things first, gotta run a shotgun. I know you can already tell that I have Badger Tough 2 pieces. It's going to boost our shotgun damage. And I'm using the Sweetdreams Exotic Shotgun for the Sandman talent. It's amazing. In the pinch with this type of build, with a tank like this, you're going to be surrounded. If you watch the last stream that I posted with Willful Sorrows, Mock 1771, and Lavinity 215, I was surrounded most of the time. So this is going to come in handy, especially when you run out of those 8 shells. You could always just run up, and as long as the enemy is non-elite, pop them one time with a melee, they're dead. Alright, on a 15-second cooldown. The reason why I chose this, you can use whatever shotgun you want. I chose Sweetdreams just because of Sandman, but also that damaged armor. Within 8 shots, I want to peel as much armor off as possible. And then going for the melee. I know it's like an instant kill, so I should probably just start doing that first, right? I also want to try to like save that Sandman, because if I don't have to do the 15-second cooldown, I won't. I much rather, if I could shoot them and kill them, that's great. So with reds, I usually just shoot them. Purple bars, depending on how bad of a situation I'm in, which is like, it's really not like an issue being surrounded with this build if you play it right, and I'll show you why that is after I explain the weapons. It's going to be nice to like still have that Sandman waiting just to put him right to sleep. And then I'm running a black market AKM. Doesn't really matter which assault rifle. I only chose this specific one because it had the 15% assault rifle damage. And then I re-rolled it for measured. At the top half of your magazine is going to fire at 20% increased rate of fire, and then it's going to take 30% weapon damage off of that. This is just for the top half. We really want that bottom half. That's what we're using this for. Now this is obviously going to come out 20% slower rate of fire, but it's going to give you 30% total weapon damage. So this is really nice. My play style is a little like strange. I'd like to come out with my secondary weapon first, and then I'll switch over to Sweetdreams. I could switch it, but it really doesn't matter, to me at least. But this is the weapon that I chose. Again, we're using the Crusader shield, so you're going to either want to use an assault rifle or SMG, but I like the measured talent, so I went with the assault rifle. And it works out like pretty good. Again, watch the last stream and you'll see me just like run around and brutalize enemies with this weapon. And then for this build specifically, we're using the card 45. It's a pistol, and I'm mainly using it for reformation talent. Headshots grant 30% skill repair for 15 seconds, and I do have a fixer drone for this, so this is going to be helpful. Now let's get into the gear sets. Like I said, 2-piece Badger Tough for that shotgun damage, and it's going to give us more armor. We got 1.8 million armor on this, and you know, you can see why. What's most important is going to be our backpack, our chest piece, and our holster, right? No different than most builds, or well, yeah, no different than any build actually. We're using Liquid Engineer mainly for the perfect bloodsucker, and this is important because killing enemies is going to allow us to build a ridiculous amount of bonus armor, which we're going to need, and I'm going to show you why we're going to need that in a little bit. And then of course we got 1% armor regen. Armor on kill is going to be sweet. We need that as well. We got 1.8 million armor, right? So you wouldn't think that you would need like armor on kill, but you do. We're going to take that. I also, when I got this, it already had that, you know, 170,000 armor on it. And then I just re-rolled for armor regen. I forgot what I had it on before, but I didn't need it. And we're going to, of course, follow up with the same thing for the gloves, just to get that 10% armor on kill. And this one I got again with the ridiculous armor on it, so it was like really sweet, great to use both of these together. To the chest piece, we got Point Man. So you want Liquid Engineer, Point Man. Alright, I had to re-roll the armor for this, so that's why it's like that. This is going to give us perfect Vanguard. If you've watched my other tank build, this is probably one of my favorite talents for a tank. I won't use many chest pieces with like varied talents on them. I generally stick to a few that, you know, the same like 2 or 3. Vanguard is one of them. And then Point Man is probably my top favorite chest piece for a shield using tank. Perfect Vanguard is amazing. What it does is when you deploy it, your shield is invulnerable for 5 seconds, right? That's pretty great. But it also grants 50% of your armor as bonus armor to all other allies for 20 seconds on a 25-second cooldown. I can't explain to you. You would just have to see it. So definitely make sure you check out the last video. I'm definitely going to post a field test video just so that I can make y'all a believer. The amount of bonus armor we're going to be giving our teammates with this type of build is insane. I've done it. It's on YouTube. Go check it out. I'm not going to over exaggerate and say you'll fill up the entire like armor bar. It'll be bonus armor, but you get pretty close to it in certain situations, especially when there's a lot of like enemies around to kill. That's why we're going to want perfect bloodsucker, because we can stack it up to 10 times. Okay. When you first go into battle, you're going to pop your shield off anyway, like once you get into combat, which is fine because again we have 1.8 million armor right now. You pop this off, you give them half of that, your teammates half of that, and then you go in and you just go for kills. I know the weapon damage on this is minus the shotgun is pretty, like, it's not great, but it's not going to matter. Because you're still going to be able to kill, whether we're using Sweet Dreams or we're using this AKM, we're going to be able to get kills. You're going to kill it. You're going to be killing some enemies. Once you, like, and it's hard to like check while you're playing. I was trying to look at it while I was in combat, and it was really hard to like pay attention to it. But if you stack up enough after the initial 25-second cooldown, throw your shield away. All right, I'm using The Crusader, I'm not using Firewall signature weapon. I have that for my other tank build. That is up on YouTube, so if you want to check that out, I believe it's the Armor All tank build. Check that out. Where I use the Striker Shield, which gives your teammates like a buff, a damage, weapon damage buff. As long as they stay in the cone, the blue cone behind you, based off of the enemies in the yellow cone in front of you. So check that build out for more on that. But I'm using the Crusader, which works like that. It's just without the buff. All right. If you notice, I have no skill tier. 5 million health. 5 million health on this shield. And the holster regeneration is pretty nice. That's pretty decent. So pop your shield away after the 25-second cooldown, and then pop it out. Just throw it out again. For 5 seconds, it'll be invulnerable, and for another 20 seconds, your allies will have 50% of your armor. That includes bonus armor. All right. So they're going to be buffed. You're going to be buffed, and it's not going to stop you from like wreaking havoc in combat. We got decent protection. And then we got the fixer drone. So, you know what I mean? The chances of you actually going down, if you're not like, you know, goofing off, and you actually, you know what I mean, you're playing, you got a decent team, are pretty high. You should be good. Depending, like, I'm not going to say you do this on heroic, you're going to be fine. You know what I mean? That's going to be a tough one. But survivability wise, yeah, because you got 1.8 million armor walking in, and as you're getting your kills, you're going to stack 12, you know, plus 12% bonus armor for up to 10 stacks. Give 50% of that to your team. 5 seconds, you're going to be invulnerable. At least your shield will. All right, and then you could always fix yourself up with the fixer drone. If you're feeling a pinch, switch over to your sidearm, pop off a few headshots to just get this reformation talent, and then that's going to help boost your fixer drone. This is what also we have the forge. So this is the third gear piece that you have to have for this forge, with that 50% shield health. So that's why, like, you know, 5 million shield health, that's lovely. I love using forges. Again, I use, you know, point man and forge with almost every tank build. You're going to get 20% incoming repair, so if you have a good medic on your team, that'll be great. If not, it's fine, because you got fixer drone, plus get a headshot, boom. For 15 seconds, you got, you know, 30% skill repair. All right, and that's this build. This is the Blooded Vanguard Liquid Engineer with perfect bloodsucker. Try to roll as much armor on it as possible. Armor regen, armor on kill. Point man with perfect Vanguard. You want to do the same. Try to get that armor up, and you want forge with that 50% shield health. All right. Badger tough with this is great because you're going to get shotgun damage. I like kind of lucked out with this mask and these gloves, but try to like just get the best you can. The next build I'm going to show you is probably one of my favorites. Probably seen something like this already, but the way I use it, I think is unique. I'm not going to say that I'm the first person to think of it or any of that, but it works great with my play style. All right, because I like to get up in the face and just troll, you know, enemies until they're dead, till they're all dead. This one I call the Intimidator. I'm about to show you why in a second. Again, sweet dreams for obvious reasons. Black market AKM, again, you can use whatever you want. I just like to have measured, and Sandman is just too nice. You notice the shotgun damage on this is lower because I don't have Badger Tough on this build. I went with something else. And then I have like the sidearm for this isn't important. I like using the Magnum. This one I got when I got it. It had 6% damage to armor, so I just like kept it. And then I believe it did come with yeah, I think it did come with close and personal. Killing a target within 7 meters grants 30% weapon damage. You can do it. It does. I've done it. 6 shots, boom, they go down, and now a little snake face comes up under my health bar. It always makes me happy. We're doing 4-piece Foundry Bulwark. We want that shield health, of course. We're still sticking with the Crusader shield with, again, 5 million health. All right, we want that. We need that. We're gonna I didn't use the backpack and the chest piece, the vest, which gives you talents that help with makeshift repairs. Only because like I wanted to do something else, and honestly, I don't think that I needed it for this build. It doesn't have that 1.8 million armor that we just saw in my BloodedVanguard build, but this still works pretty nicely. I'm gonna show you why it works pretty good. We are going to get 10% total armor, 1% armor regen, and again that 50% shield health. And then whenever you or your shield take damage, 20% of that amount is repaired to both over 15 seconds. So whenever we take damage over 15 seconds, 20% of that damage is going to be refunded to between the both of us. So that's nice. I'm working on getting the armor up on this, because it's not like it's not like what we were just seeing with my BloodedVanguard build, but it's a work in progress. I like hazard protection because chances are we're going to be running into those flamethrowers, getting set on fire, explosions, all that. Although hazard protection doesn't protect you from explosives, it's still nice to have. Status effect, and that the reason why I didn't re-roll that is because with this build we're using the Banshee Pulse. Alright, and I'll be explaining this in a second. And then for our, I'm pretty sure we've seen this before. Most, if not everybody at this point, if you don't know about Adrenaline Rush and Intimidate talent combination, here you go. I'll explain that. The first thing that's going to happen, that's going to pop off, is our Adrenaline Rush talent. Okay. It doesn't have to be the 511 tactical. I just happen to get Adrenaline Rush on here, and I believe I got Intimidate on this chest piece. It just happened to be 511, so I kept it. This is really good if you have someone with some repair skills that's willing to help the team out. I like running this with my clan because my boy Sinister Sicario is he's the guy. I don't think we ever discussed making him the medic, but he just sort of fell into that role. He's always there to pick you up or save you. So that 20% incoming repairs is nice. Health I wasn't too concerned about to begin with, but we got 10% health, so that's cool. We got some explosive resistance. I'm really more so or more or less focused on building up the armor on this than anything. And then I stuck some protection from elites on there. And and then we're using the backpack to match. Just because, like I said, I just happened to get it with Adrenaline Rush on it. I figured why not. Alright, that armor is nice. I had to re-roll it, of course, but it was either that or it was going to be skill damage, and I figured if I could get this sweet roll, max roll on armor, I was going to do that. And I'll be fine with that 5% skill damage. It's not important. Adrenaline Rush, whenever you are within 10 meters of an enemy, we're using a shield, so that's a guarantee. You're going to gain 20% bonus armor for 5 seconds, and it stacks up 3 times. Guaranteed with this build, it's a guaranteed 60% bonus armor for 5 seconds, every 5 seconds, because enemies are just going to rush you. This is a great tank build. They're going to come straight for you, which is exactly what we want. We want to be close to them within 10 meters, right, to gain that armor. And then with Intimidate, every time for 5 seconds, every 5 seconds, while we have bonus armor, it amplifies total weapon damage by 25% to enemies within 10 meters. We have to be within 10 meters of enemies to get the stacks. So these work great together. And essentially, we're just going to be running around with 25% weapon damage to them with Sweetdreams. And, you know, measured on our black market AKM. Alright. And of course, like, this bad boy just only like is the icing on the cake, and it just shreds armor. Both of these are PvE builds. I wouldn't take them to PvP. I generally don't do a whole lot of PvP anyway. My clan just hit 8 members, so we're gonna start doing raids, and when we do our raids, I'll definitely stream those, post videos. But this is something that I would take with me into a raid, as well as the Blooded Vanguard we just saw. I would take that as well, mainly because it gives bonus armor to all allies, period. This is mainly so that I could do more crowd control. What I mean by that is, remember how I said we was using the Banshee Pulse? I love this thing. I don't really see too many builds with it. I don't think it's super popular, or maybe it's just like I haven't, you know, gone down that rabbit hole on YouTube deep enough yet. But I don't see too many people using Banshee in PvE. I have seen it in PvP, but in PvE, I think it's kind of slept on. With the way the game mechanics work, when you apply certain status effects, not including ensnare, obviously ensnare is going to stop enemies, but when you apply certain status effects, the enemies go through an animation that they can't, like, certain enemies might not go through it, and it's not spammable, especially with like Banshee Pulse isn't like spammable. So if you were looking to like try to like there are chest piece talents that will either refresh or give you a chance to like skip a cooldown. To try to spam this is not going to continuously, it'll disorient them, but it's not going to get them to go through the animation. Burn status effect, I believe I said this before in another video, is burn status effect, shock, disorient, and I believe there is one more. I want to say confuse, but I know for certain those 3 status effects will get them to stop. Okay. Divinity 2 and 5, in Division 1, matter of fact, the first ever stream I ever did was with him, and at the time Willful wasn't Willful, he was Gan Tatsumaki. We went to the Underground Division 1, and his pyro builds are love. They're amazing. With this, he didn't like the Seeker Mine now in Division 2, because you have to like aim it, And the problem he was coming, or the problem he had was he would shoot the sticky and the enemy would move at like the perfect second. Or he would, you know, send out the seeker mine and the enemies would flee the area. Okay, so he started using the canisters, the burn canisters, on the chem launcher. He started using that, and he was running the same problems. He would pop them off, and some of the enemies would flee, so he would get like maybe one or two. With the Banshee Pulse, and me being so close to them, especially since I have the shield, it's easy to corral or kite a group of enemies into a certain area or out into the open. You can chase them out of cover. The big shield dude running at them, they're going to move. With the Banshee Pulse, if you get enough of them in a good area, they'll all stop. And like I said, in the last stream we were doing it, they all stopped, and you would just see like the whole area go up in flames, and there's nothing but everybody's on fire. Everybody's, you know, going through a status effect, the burn status effect, and they're also disoriented. Normally this effect doesn't last long, and you don't really need it to last forever. I got mine up by effect duration up to 5 seconds. I think without it, the status effect, the 7% I have here, it's actually a lot lower. It's 4.4, I believe, seconds, which again is still like, that's more than enough time for a chem launcher to go off or a sticky bomb to be planted. I'm not sure about Seeker Mine because that depends on your distance. But you know, it definitely helps if you have the motor, the turret. That'll help. This helps out a lot because you just trap them in one area. And then I like to go to town with either the assault rifle, excuse me, or my shotgun. I'm getting that weapon damage from Intimidate because I'm getting bonus armor from Adrenaline Rush, right? The one thing I want to point about Banshee, and if you look here at my mods, effect duration, I got 8.6%. And I also have cone size, 7.7 cone size. Look at the radius and the cone angle on this. The radius is 32.3 meters, right? With the jammer, which it disrupts, but it doesn't, it's not going to stop them. They might flinch a little bit, it might stun them, but then they're right back to whatever it is they were doing and out of the area of effect that your teammate, or in my case Lavinity, just laid out for me or for the team, and we just wasted it. So now I gotta wait 23 seconds for what? And it only goes up to 20 meters. The remote pulse, like, that doesn't really do anything unless you're using spotter. Then I would suggest using remote pulse. That only has 15 meters. The cooldown's a lot lower, and the duration is longer, but with this we don't need duration. EMP doesn't have any, well, EMP effect duration is only 3.8 seconds. So this is cool. It's weird. This doesn't work on like the warhounds or the mini tanks or the drones. It doesn't work on equipment. This works on equipment, but not really great for people. This is better for, like, you know, human enemies than it is for the mechanical weapons that they have in the game, like when you're fighting Black Tusk. So that is something to take in consideration, but I don't really, like, I'm not bothered by that much in this build. But you know, again, this is something that I like using. The Banshee Pulse has become one of my favorite skills. Even like if you're not in a coordinated group where somebody's laying out status effects, or AoE, and you need to stop enemies in their tracks. It's still useful to have, especially when I'm reloading. 4.7 seconds without people shooting at me is nice. I appreciate that. The reload for this isn't too bad, nor is it for this pistol. But for the shotgun specifically, being able to reload that 8 mag and then continue doing what I was doing, or switch after a melee, boom, and then reload again. It's only going to take me 2 seconds. Having them stunned, the effect duration on this is 5 seconds. For a nice 3 seconds after I reload them, for that 3 seconds, somebody gonna get all this lead. So this is one of my favorite builds. Again, called the Intimidator for obvious reasons. You're just gonna get point blank up in as many enemies' faces as you possibly can and dispense swift and prejudiced justice in the division. So those are the 2 builds. We got BloodedVanguard, 2-piece Badger Tough, 2-piece Bellstone Armory. We got Forge. You need Point Man and you need Liquid Engineer. Those are going to be your backpack. Point Man for the chest, Forge for your holster. Sweetdreams, Black Market AKM with the card 45. The card is going to give us that reformation, talent, headshots, grant 30% skill repair for 15 seconds. We have the fixer drone, so that's going to be nice. And then Forge is going to give us incoming repairs. If you don't know, Forge is not, it didn't come with that core attribute, the armor core attribute. I actually switched that out because I don't need a skill tier at all for either of those builds. So I took it off, and I'm not even using Forge for the Intimidator. We're using the 4-piece Foundry Bulwark, 2-piece 511 Tactical. If you can get another like brand set that's going to give you something other than income repairs and health, I would suggest that. Again, I just happened, like, this is what I got with the talent, so I just kind of used them both, and it worked out that they match. And I also have like a decent, I'm not even gonna say decent, I have an incredible medic in my team. Shout out to Sinister Sicario. So I'm not super concerned. I'm not too bothered by the income repairs. I don't see it as a waste, just for what I'm allowed to do. But yeah, this is what you need. Intimidator, 4-piece Foundry Bulwark. You want to have Adrenaline Rush. You want to have Intimidate with the Crusader Ballistic Shield and Banshee. You can only get Banshee by using the Gunner signature weapon with the minigun. So that's that. Doesn't hurt throwing the Riot Foam Grenade, because remember, we want to get up in their face. We want to immobilize them, and we just want to tear into them. And then we have Blooded Vanguard, Liquid Engineer, Point Man. We're going to be giving just a lot of bonus armor to our team. They're going to need it, especially like the squishier members. Like Wolf's our sniper, so he stays squishy. Lavinity and Mock are also pretty squishy. Mainly because one's a skill build, Lavinity does the skills because he's got stats effects. Pyro to be exact, and then Mock is going to be dealing a lot of weapon damage. There's other members of the clan that, I'm not the only tank. I don't know that I'm the best tank. I don't, too humble to be like, yeah, I'm the best tank in my entire squad. We'll have to find out from them. But this is how I do my tanking. with Blooded Vanguard, we're just looking to give as much bonus armor as we collect bonus armor ourselves, because you get 10 stacks of this with Perfect Bloodsucker. And then we're just going to share all that armor with the team. All right. Appreciate you watching. Definitely make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell so that you can stay up to date with all the videos and streams, builds, and I'll catch you guys next time. Not sure what my next build video will be. I might do a skill build. I'll probably do a medic build. I haven't done that yet. I think I'll do that. I think I'll do a medic build and share with you guys some of what I do on the rare occasions I have to run medic. But until then, peace out. You already know what it is. Check it out. Don't get these patches for nothing. And I'll talk to you guys later.